Good evening, everybody. Here we are, the end of day 20 of the Mad Ride, and we're back in Victoria at a little place called Tempe. And today we've come from Pinnaroo. We crossed the border right at the start of the day. It was freezing cold to be welcomed back into Victoria. I think 1.5 degrees was the temperature gauge this morning. We come back into Victoria. The sign actually said "Welcome to Mexico" or something like that. Got some people over here very offended. But we continued on. Bit of wind today. But we're happy to be here. We wanted to take a little moment as a whole bunch of riders to give you a little insight into what's been our most interesting or memorable experience of the ride. I'm going to start and then get out of the way. For me, it was coming into Eucla. I'll go back first. For a start, it was riding out of Bunbury as a whole big group. The excitement as we rode out of Bunbury was just enormous. Loved it. And then coming into Eucla, I was a proud dad. Lewis took off for a sprint. He held it off up the hill, and then waiting for me at Border Village was Noah and Emma and Alison. That was really cool.
My most memorable moment will be seeing McRae do a flip when getting hit by a kangaroo and seeing that he was A-OK.
Leaving Bunbury was pretty cool, but seeing McRae do that flip was awesome.
It was quite interesting to watch everybody attempt to get Jacob Lovell out of bed. It's quite a challenge.
A highlight for me would be when we were in Esperance. There was a couple of locals there that took us forward driving down the beach along the water there. It was great fun. At one point we actually got stuck and we had to let the tyres down. The sun was going down. There's a group of us that were all involved in that, but it was a lot of fun being led down there by a guy that I think only had his licence for about 6 months, so a bit concerning, but it was good fun.
My most memorable experience was pretty awesome joining the group at Streaky Bay, seeing the excitement, but also watching as the team pulls together on the tough windy days. 20 riders all in a bunch just working really hard. It's great to see.
Yeah, a highlight for me has been the positive reception that we've had at different locations, particularly I think of Lake Grace, I think it was. The school there put on an amazing afternoon tea and just a warm welcome for us, and it was just great. So yeah, that's a real highlight.
My highlight was when Adrian was yelling at me to slow down because I was at the front of the group, so I slowed down, got in my lowest gear. There goes my bike, she carks it. It's all fixed now.
My highlight has been seeing all the different terrain.
G'day, folk. Look, this has been, the whole event has been a learning experience for us all, and the one thing I have learned is the value of generosity, and there's been numerous examples of that over the last 3 weeks of people's resources and time.
One of the highlights for me has obviously been doing this with my son and trying to get him out of bed each morning, but on a broader scale it's been watching the changing landscape of Australia over the past 3 weeks. It's quite a beautiful country.
One of my highlights is our massage therapist, Pedro, having a shark on his line late at night in Esperance and the jetty. That was exciting.
G'day, highlight for me was riding up a hill on my own out in front and finding my family parked by the roadside. I hadn't seen for a couple of weeks, so that was an awesome highlight. Thanks.
The whole experience has been one of those significant times in my life doing all this. I've loved the devotion times at night when people young and old have had an opportunity to share what God's been doing in their life and encouraging us, particularly what it's going to mean for us beyond the ride as well.
I'm so proud of everyone doing this ride and achieving their goals. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this ride. My highlight was seeing my wife rock up in all of her Richmond gear on our rest day in Streaky Bay and getting to spend that with her. That was fantastic.
My highlight was probably the great experience of being able to ride my papa's bike across the Nullarbor once more. That was pretty awesome and held up pretty well. A couple of hiccups, but it got there in the end.
My highlight was praying with Ian and Graham from the support crew, because it's really surprised me about how you can connect with people through prayer. My highlight was throwing Matt Johnson's expensive frisbee into Lucky Bay.
My highlight as well as Isaac was the forward driving in Esperance. Was an absolute ripper time with the boys down there, and also coming in every night, seeing all the support crew lining up and cheering us as we finished the day is something pretty special.
I've enjoyed seeing everybody work together, and one prime example of that was when I had a puncture today, and before I'd hardly stopped, Toph had my front wheel out, and it was in a spare one from the bus was in my bike, and then Lorraine helped me change that tube at the meal break, and I was back into action again. It was good to see everybody work together. Thank you.
My highlight was definitely the day from Majura to Eucla, just seeing the magnificent view from the hill at the morning when we left, as we rode down the hill, and coming into Eucla and just seeing Lynn, Lucy and Josh was just a great time, and seeing them too after a fairly solid day. Thank you.
My highlight, joining them at Streaky Bay and enjoying the countryside, and it's been great spending time with these guys. But I think the rolling turns coming out of Burra and then finishing off with a pretty hard sprint against Isaac was probably well and truly up there in terms of highlights.